And if you're in the chat, predictions are finally open. Place your bets on who you believe is going to advance on to the grand finals. Who's it going to be? Predictions open. Good luck. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of our Kiona, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. One of the best Protoss in all of Poland. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Berserker Esports. Another rising star here, another rising Protoss player in Poland. It is PAPI. PAPI, the Polish Protoss player. Again, he has that edge with alliteration. His name also starts with P. It's crazy. You know, looking at you, Art, and Gerald, and Cristiano, and Jomek, and Rodzin, and kind of Rail. All these other Protosses that didn't start with P. I'm shaking my head. Shaking my head. As we're getting into our openers, 2-gate opener. It's going to be a 2-gate opener out of Geralt, a 2-gate opener out of PAPI. No one is going for faster expansions, not yet at least. And we'll see how we spice things up. Again, it was early on in the patch where proxy Stargate was very common, and PAPI, he does mine out these mineral patches. Okay, interesting. I was going to say that it was common to mine out these minerals, get onto this side of the map, and proxy Stargate. Proxy Stargate right outside your opponent's main base. It was very common. And PAPI, he fakes the proxy. I love this. There's so much coming into it. PAPI, the big brain. So he mines through these patches and he hides the second pylon. So Geralt, he knows the pylon's missing. He knows the pylon is missing. And the first thing that Geralt should do after checking the natural should be to check this area here, to check these minerals. And when he sees that it's been mined, it screams that there's a proxy on this side, right? That the probe went on the other side of the mineral wall. So I love the mind games out of PAPI. I love the movement so far. You can see the probe. Yep, we're going to be checking. And once we see, we're going to be racing on over. And PAPI, he's hoping for an overreaction. There it is. Yeah, the probe does confirm that the minerals have been mined, and we are scouring this side of the map, looking for a proxy that doesn't exist. Behind this shield batteries on the way. We throw down a... Oh my god, big reaction out of Geralt. Safety shield battery for the Oracle. Robo is thrown down in case it's not an Oracle to defend against the All-In. Very, very solid defensive setup here by Geralt. Meanwhile, PAPI's chilling. PAPI is chilling, getting into his 2-gate opener, into his Stalkers. Adepts have arrived. They're going to be threading a shade across the map. Probe is still scouting. Now, what I will say, as the Adepts are getting across the map, and as PAPI is expanding, and Geralt doesn't know, he will soon scout, is that this setup from Geralt can turn into a one-base all-in. This can turn into an all-in, so PAPI has to prepare for that. Geralt, he scouts, he confirms the Nexus. He now knows that he's been duped. He now knows that he has wasted resources, and he may be forced into an all-in. Adepts, they recall back home. One of them escapes, the other gets focused down. And this probe is poised to throw down a pylon. As I say that, we are expanding. Geralt is going to be throwing down that expansion. We are going to be just scouting and checking. And Geralt, he does come across the pylon. He does find it. Pylon has been found, throwing down his own spotter pylon across the map. And we are going for the Warp Prism. Okay, so Geralt, he's not going all in, but this Prism will allow Geralt to harass. It will allow him to get into the main base. Now the game becomes PAPI has to defend and Geralt has to catch up. Ooh, as the recall misses a Stalker. No. We lose an extra Stalker there. Not the best trade from Geralt. But basically, PAPI has an economic lead. Can he maintain it? Can he hold on to it? That is a question. Ooh, as it's not just the War Prism. That's a very fast immortal. Fast immortal production here out of Geralt. I mean, he's making use of his Robo, right? He has to. But what is scary here is that this is going to lead into a pretty strong 2 or even 3 immortal timing. As we're building up immortals very early on, we're going to have quite a lot of them to push out in the mid-game, or in the early to mid-game. Adepts are being warped in, and Geralt can now dive into the main base. PAPI, he responds with his own robo. Makes sense. A very defensive reaction to get into his own immortal production. And if they get in, they are zoned away. Now, I was going to say that PAPI hasn't scattered, but Hallucination gets in. He confirms the opener. Sees a robo, which he already knew. Twilight Council Blink is on the way. Again, very important that PAPI keeps an eye on the gateway count. If we throw down a 3rd and 4th gateway, I mean, it screams 2-base all-in. Speaking of, that is the 3rd gateway. PAPI going for a, oh my god, going for a 3rd base of his own. Very greedy. Very greedy out of PAPI, and are we being too greedy? Are we being caught with our pants down? Because Gerald, he's pushing for his 2-base all-in. He has the better production. He can warp in 3 units at a time. His Immortal has arrived. Can we hold? Can we defend? As we do get on top of the base, shield battery is cancelled. We do have defensive Immortal. Good force fields. Immortal gets caught out. It's being targeted, and the Immortal will fall. Good pick off there by Gerald. Sentry goes down. Again, the force fields are brutal. PAPI now engaging, but we can back off. The Prism, though. Oh, Prism gets targeted. We're going to get the Immortal, and PAPI is going to defend. Oh, we missed the Stalker shot there. A little bit of miscontrol out of Gerald. I don't know if you saw, we missed 2 Stalker shots, and that meant that PAPI trades a little bit better, a little bit more efficiently, gets away with his 3rd. Gerald just now getting into his own. And PAPI, he maintains his economic lead, and those are some big pickoffs. Looking at the units lost tab here, you can see Gerald, he lost 2 Immortals. Sorry, he lost an Immortal. He lost the Prism as well. His entire Stalker army. I would say that PAPI still maintains his lead, and he's looking good. Oh, even going double forge. Oh my god, he's going double forge for those double upgrades. Observer, I believe, scouts that. Yeah, we confirm both forges. PAPI gonna be just drowning in resources. Wants to know what to do with it. Oh, runs into some Immortals. Speaking of, his own Immortals, a little bit exposed. Ooh. So we trade out Stalkers. As Geralt is distracted, we shade into the natural. And Geralt, he's late to react. Probes are going down. Again, PAPI, he already had an economic lead, and he's just extending it even further. Shading into the main base, getting more probes. 5, 6, 7 probes go down. Ay, ay, ay. PAPI, he almost has a 20 worker lead. That is insane. And what are we doing with that economic lead? Gateway explosion. Upgrades, of course, on the way. My apologies. I thought I saw 2 forges. I guess I was seeing things, or we canceled one. I swear there was a forge thrown down here next to the gas geyser. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Regardless, upgrades are on the way. Charge, and Gerald, he knows that he's in a rough position, so how do we come back? Now, there are a couple of ways to come back in PvP. There's Dark Templar. DTs are a way to bounce back and catch your opponent off guard. Another is Disruptors. The Bay is on the way. Oh. No, Gerald! Oh, as looks like we have a little bit of latency there, and we may have lost our player. Hopefully everything's okay. And hopefully we can bring him back. Again, if Gerald does lag out, we can always resume from replay. We can always just exit out of the game, resume from replay. Oh, as
game paused.
Looks like he has come back, but we'll give him a moment. We'll give him a moment to recover. We're more than willing to wait. It's all good. And thankfully, the lag happened. Thankfully, the lag happened in the middle of just macro. Like, there was no fight going on. Oh.
Game resumed.
Okay, we're good. As Geralt, it looks like he's saying maybe he alt-tabbed and lagged out. But we're good. We're good to go. Whew, we're back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so a way to come back in PvP. There's Dark Templar, there's Disruptors, and we're going for a second robo for double disruptor production. Let's go. Show us your balls. Show us your novas. And the other way is to go Mass Blink Stalker. when you go Mass Blink Stalker, you have a very mobile army, and you can try to outposition the opposing Protoss and pick off bases, dive into the main, get units, get probes, just try to outposition your opponent. It's a lot more harder, it's a little more difficult to make Mass Blink Stalker work, but it's another option. We can see the option that Gerald has gone for is Disruptors. Disruptor, of course, dubbed the Great Equalizer. You can be down 20, 30, 40 army supply, and if you land a couple of good Purification Novas, you can still win a fight. You can still swing things in your favor. So Disruptors, they're terrifying units. They're high risk, high reward, right? You can send out a Nova, it can connect, it can pop off, or it can whiff, it can be avoided, and you may lose everything. And PAPI, he's up 50 supplies, pushing right through the center of the map. We do have 1 Disruptor so far. We're about to have 3. They are on the way. And PAPI, he has to be very careful now. What's important? PAPI doesn't know. PAPI, he doesn't know about the Disruptor, so he doesn't know he has to hold on to those blinks. And he has to make sure he doesn't waste them. So here comes the first Nova. Takes down a couple of Zealots. 2 more Novas available. We go for the dive. Oh, big connection on the Stalkers. Misjudged the situation. The blink was punished, but we may still have too much. We may have too much anyway, as Zealots have arrived. The overcharge is popped, and Gerald holds. PAPI was up 50 supply, by the way. This is what we spoke about. Sometimes 1 or 2 good Novas, they can even up the supply. That's exactly what happened. Big connection. And Gerald suddenly has a supply lead. Sometimes 1 shot is all it takes. But PAPI, he doesn't want to take this. He doesn't want to lose his edge. Another Nova goes off. We have 2 more Disruptors, 2 more Novas. PAPI trying to distract the army. He does focus on 1 of those Disruptors. The other connects only on an Archon. Ooh, and that's all we had. PAPI's breaking into the natural. Zealots are going ham. We dive on top of the army. These Stalkers are exposed. A bit of a messy fight here. I mean, the Zealots, they're wreaking havoc in the mineral line. But the main army of PAPI is suffering. Nova's going to be going off. Reinforcements are on the way. And PAPI, he may barely have too much. It's close. It looks like Gerald, he holds on with his main army, but he loses 16 probes in his natural. But Gerald has the better army. Gerald, he maintains his Disruptors, his Immortals. He has 2 Disruptors at least. Has an Immortal. He's getting a 4th base as we speak. Those are some big losses from Gerald, but he can maintain them. And that big lead that PAPI once had, not really there anymore. Or it's not as big as it once was. PAPI taking another base. Rotating around. Gerald, he does miss the rotation. Doesn't see the army until now. PAPI just now getting eyes on this base. It's fully saturated. Okay, he's going to try and peel off some Zealots. A couple of DTs have sprinkled in as well. Oh, there's the DTs from Gerald, by the way. And there's no detection. Dark Templar, they do defend. They clean up the army. They focus down the prison. PAPI in a lot of trouble. He's getting caught out. Nova goes off. Getting the Immortal, getting the Archon. PAPI desperately going for a Zealot run by. Doing anything he can. Forces the recall. Yeah, the recall is just in time. Zealots are slipping into the base. PAPI getting damage done. A very chaotic style here out of PAPI, but he is killing probes. But he might lose everything. That's the danger here. He might lose everything as Zealots, they're trying to get into the bases. Stalkers are caught out. We got a Disruptor. Oh, we get a 2nd Disruptor as well. No! We dodged the shots. We get a 3rd, a 4th Disruptor. Oh my god, we bleed out a lot of Disruptors. Gerald being pulled apart. That's a lot of losses. That was how many Disruptors? 4 Disruptors. 13 probes. Good damage dealt there by PAPI. Again, it's very important, very critical here that he keeps the Disruptor count low. As he just keeps coming in and gets an Archon. Oh, but this is going to be a one-way trip. Yeah, Stalkers, they're being punished. Zealot run by comes in, but we have DTs to harass. We have counter DTs, though. We have detection. Gerald, he shuts down the Dark Templar. That was an expensive run by there from PAPI. Very expensive. And what I worry is that PAPI, he's been throwing away his army, right? Like, as Gerald's been defending, he may have lost a couple of disruptors, but, you know, he still has a few of them. I do like the composition of PAPI a little bit more. Sorry, I keep saying PAPI. Goddamn, I do like the composition of Geralt a little bit more. PAPI, he's struggling here. As DTs come in, they can dive on top of the cannon. Ooh, it's going to be targeted. Cannon force probes as well. More DTs harassing it towards the north. And we spoke about it earlier, how do you come back in PvP? Disruptors, Dark Templar, Blink Stalkers. These DTs, they've been going ham and they might get the base. Oh, they barely do. Nexus goes down, both Nexi fall. Big losses there for PAPI. 800 minerals down the drain. Not cheap. And Geralt, he's still just amassing more disruptors. It was a risky move, but he got away with it. Getting deja vu. We've been here before. Zealots are going for the natural. Never goes off. Big connection. A lot of Zealots get caught. And PAPI, he can't fight head on. Not like this. Not into disruptors. Zealots are cleaned up. We have the shield battery. We have the cannon. Very wasteful there out of PAPI. And he's been too wasteful. And Geralt, he's gotten out of control. At one point in this game, PAPI had a big lead. Not anymore. Now the lead is in Geralt's favor. It's clearly in his court. PAPI desperately trying to outposition him with Blink Stalkers. He's getting surrounded. Getting chased down. Ooh. Yeah, rough pathing there. Stalkers, they do get shaved off. PAPI once again coming in with his Stalkers, with Zealots, with Immortals, with anything he can. But it's just too much. GG gets called, and Geralt, he will take game number 1. Coming back from a brutal position, but getting a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Geralt, bouncing back from being behind. Well, he was like behind 20 probes at one point. Like the economic lead that PAPI had was insane. But eventually did peter out. Eventually, Geralt was able to recover, able to defend, able to survive. Oh. Oh, I'm not where I need to be. My apologies. I joined the wrong lobby. As we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. Calm down, random. Calm down. Ese papi malcriado, papi. Concha su madre. Ay, ay, ay. Se mamó, papi. Se mamó. Calm down. Yo, this isn't Jaime's stream. This isn't Jim Rising stream. Keep things civil. As we're just waiting for game 2 to be made. Again, Geralt was having some latency issues earlier, so he may be resolving them first before we dive in. But here we go. We have our map. We have our lobby. Game 2 is going to be on Golden Aura. And this has been a pretty intense back and forth PvP so far. I want it to go to the ace match, but we'll see. You know, Geralt is a terrifying player. I would say currently that Geralt is the best Protoss in Poland. As I say that, I do think that the gap between Geralt, PAPI, and Cristiano is quite small. I do think that that they are relatively close in skill, and even though Geralt, I would put him ahead of them slightly, they can bring it to Geralt, and they can, you know, go back and forth. As we're getting into game 2. Can hear the beeps. Players are ready. We are getting in. are settling on in, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our red Polish Protoss player leading the series 1-0, representing Storm Gaming. He needs one more. Uno más to advance on to the grand finals. Can he make it there? Can he go all the way? It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Berserker Esports. The dark horse here, the dark Protoss, if you will, representing Berserker. The blue Polish Protoss player, it is PAPI. Down in this series, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Can he? I believe he can, but will he? The pressure is on. Pressure is on here. I was just checking the predictions to see what the chat was feeling like, and it is kind of 50-50, but not really. We had one person bet on Geralt, one on PAPI, but far more heavily on PAPI. 5k bits, or 5k points on PAPI, as opposed to the 1k on Geralt. I like the enthusiasm. I appreciate it, but we'll see. We'll see where this takes us. It's going to be a 2-gate opener from both players into their cybercores. So, standard opener so far. Winding it back, I love that PAPI was, again, forcing an overreaction, and we had a lot of mind games at the start of Game 1. But now as we ease into Game 2, how do we approach this? How do we take this here? As, there we go, second pylon has been thrown down for both players. No proxies. No proxies, not this time. PAPI, unofficial mascot of the CranKy Ducklings. True, true. Let's go. I don't even know if he knows that I know, like, the meme. Fun fact, when I went to IEM, I say when I went to IEM, when, as a gift after IEM Katowice, I did post it on social media. I got a jersey. I got an ESL shirt with a bunch of signatures from the staff, from the production team, from the players that were a part of IEM, but also from other players that were visiting. And fun fact, I have PAPI's signature. I got his signature on the shirt as well, as he was there at the event. He wasn't competing at IEM, but he was there. I didn't meet him. I didn't get to meet him because obviously it was other people that were gathering gathering signatures on my behalf. Or I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't even know they were doing it. So yeah, apparently PAPI was there and they got his signature. And I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get to meet him. I didn't get to meet PAPI. Smoge. Smoge, PAPI, smoge. One day, the PAPIs will meet. It'll be beautiful. As for now, we have our double stalker openers. Geralt, he gets across the map, applying some pressure, following it up with double adept, looking to threaten his shade into the main. Shout out to Kashim for hunting PAPI down. There you go. Shout out to Kashim. Big shout out. The MVP. As with our initial units here, Geralt is able to break through, able to shut down the initial pylon. Hallucination Scout comes in. Again, it is going to be a Twilight Council Blink opener out of Geralt. Same can be said for PAPI. Mirrored builds, other than the fact that, of course, PAPI did open up Sentry. So he has a little bit less firepower, now has enough to force back the army. But not a bad start by Geralt. Threatens a shade. Ooh, does commit and force to recall. A bit of a mistake there. Did slip up. Regardless, was able to kill a pylon and didn't lose anything. So a good moment here for Geralt. He kills a pylon. He delays mining time here at the natural. So Geralt has a slightly better economy for a little bit longer. And he's keeping the pressure up, moving out across the map. That's a third gateway being thrown down of Robo as well. This is for 2-base aggression. Okay. So Geralt's going to be committing a little bit harder. Meanwhile, PAPI's still in 2 gateways. Ooh, attempts to take a third is denied. Probe goes down. Geralt maintains his map control. Containing PAPI, does shade. Shades in, focuses down both sentries. Big pickoffs. Very good snipes there by Gerald. Let's see, we'll pull back. He may have lost his adepts, but that was well worth it. Well worth it. 2 adepts for 2 sentries. Third base now on the way. Gerald's already taking his own third. And PAPI, how do we bounce back after being contained, after being harassed? With some Dark Templar. Let's go. Now, we do have detection. There is a robo, there is detection available for Gerald. But the thing about PvP is that unlike Zergs and unlike Terrans, observers are quite slow. And observers are quite finite as well. We don't have scans available, for example, or the mobility of an Overseer. Cannons aren't as common as spores. Because of that, DTs and PvP can really pop off. And they can still get damage done despite the fact that there is an observer. So we might need to recall to get the observer in position. Looking at our units, we only have the 1 observer and it is moving out. So it won't be back at home to defend, but as I just mentioned, we can always recall it if need be. Back at home, Gerald sharking around with his stalkers, going for the hallucination scout. As the scout is moving out, Dark Shrine is done. And we should be seeing some DTs as soon as possible. Oh, the intercept. Oh! Hallucination! It is caught out. Does get shut down. Does get denied. Gerald, he's in the dark. A Dark Templar, I think they were just... Yeah, they were revealed. Backup observer on the way. Ah, that was unlucky. That was very unfortunate for PAPI. His DTs, they were revealed to the main army, and Gerald, he knows. He's getting ready. Yep, defensive warp in. Cannons are on the way. We recall back home as well. Yeah, we throw down the force wind. We catch the DTs. Oh my god. Gerald, he just shuts them down. And that was a pretty big investment. That was a Dark Shrine. Those were two Dark Templar as well. And they didn't do any damage. With that, Gerald's looking in a pretty damn good position. He had the faster third base. And he knows what won him game 1. Even when you're behind, Disruptors. Disruptors are the way to go. As he dives over the 4th base, he's forcing a cancel. It denies the 4th. Blinks on Mac. Disruptors on the horizon, and PAPI doesn't know. He doesn't know about the tech. Doesn't know how much danger he's in. Now, something that PAPI has, he has slightly faster upgrades. So we have, I guess, a bit of a +2 timing. Immortals are amassing as we speak as well. But the reality is that as time goes on and as we get into disruptor production, PAPI is going to be in some trouble again. 4th base so much faster here. I was like, where's he about this? Immortal just knocking down those rocks. PAPI, he's going to be responding with his own disruptors. Okay, so we have a second robo, the Bay, double disruptor production. It's going to be on the horizon here for PAPI. But because it's already done for Gerald, he will have a disruptor lead. It will be ahead in disruptors. There's even going to be a window where Gerald has disruptors and PAPI doesn't. So it comes down to who has the better control. Who has the better control? Who has the better micro? PAPI should soon be pushing with his disruptor lead. Should be, we'll see. He might be feeling a little bit more comfortable just building up a disruptor count instead. That will give PAPI the time he needs to get his 4th up and running and to get into his own disruptors as well. So this is still anyone's game. Like, I want to give the edge to Gerald, definitely, as he snipes the observer. I want to give the edge to Gerald, but it's only an edge. PAPI, he can still bounce back. We have Blink on the way for the Dark Templar. Let's go. Blink for the DTs. Disruptors are slowly amassing. They are amassing. Likewise, Blink also on the way here for Gerald for his own Dark Templar, as he did throw down his own Dark Shrine. Hasn't invested into DTs yet, but I'm sure soon will. As looking at the units tab, we have 3 disruptors to 1. But it isn't about the quantity, it's about the quality. It's about how well can we make use of them. Can we outposition our opponents? Again, there's the ebb and flow of Blink Stalker Disruptor versus Blink Stalker Disruptor. Disruptors are exposed. We dive on top of them. We get one. We get two. Big pickoffs there by Gerald. Sniping two of those disruptors does pay a bit of a price for it. But his own disruptors are revealed. So a very good start here by Gerald. He already had a disruptor lead and now he extends it. Meanwhile, PAPI rotates around. He denies the fifth. Getting his own. Is getting his own fifth base. Gerald setting up a surround. Setting up a flank. He is spotted. Nova's going to be going off. PAPI, he could make a choice there. Could have gone for the dive. Opted not to. Nova goes off. Gets one. Trading one for one, though. Yeah, Gerald, he smells blood in the water. He dives on the army. Gets the immortal. Forces PAPI to blink away. Again, he has so many disruptors. He can force out blinks. And he can still have more disruptors. More purification Novas behind it. In the chamber. Oh! Decent split. Do graze some of those stalkers. PAPI rotating around. Trying to outposition Gerald. Gerald is caught out, by the way. Not where he needs to be. Do we force a base trade? No, he's turning back around. Caught out of position. Can we get the base? Zelse coming from behind. Ooh, very trigger happy. Every Nova gets spent. And here comes Gerald. Will lose the base, but he gets the disruptors. Gets every single disruptor. DT counterattack denies the fifth. We take down two bases in the blink of an eye. Very good moving here. Maneuvering out of PAPI. But it came at a cost. It came at a price. The price was, what was that? 3-4 disruptors. And Gerald, his army is insane. It's getting out of hand. Goes for his own DT counterattack. Disruptors are moving in. Yeah, the fifth base of PAPI is going to be killed. Dark Templar all over the place. More DTs are harassing. Likewise, PAPI also moving out with his own DTs. The Invisible Man. They're everywhere. For both players. As we can focus down some of these cannons. We blink on top of another shield battery. We head towards the natural. Damage is being done. Gerald's still not pulling the trigger with his own DTs yet, and we could just go for a base trade. Uh-oh. Now forced to recall. Never goes off. The connections. The connections are going to be good. At the same time, we avoid the shots here of Gerald and PAPI. Ooh, he takes the Nova to the face. But he does pull apart this army. Gets every single disruptor. Not a bad trade here from PAPI as he does take a lead. Takes down 25 probes. Is going to bleed out some units though. Never doesn't quite go off. A very messy fight here. Both players bleeding out disruptors. But they connect. And the fight swings in favor of Gerald. Does take it, forces him back. Gerald behind this is on 4, soon to be 5 bases. We have a similar worker count. DTs are caught. For a moment. DTs are being chased down. Gerald, can we catch some of these stalkers? Doesn't quite get them. DTs are falling. PAPI having to try to micro on 2 fronts. Please out a stalker. So both players are getting their 5th bases. Both players are getting their 5ths. Never goes off. Ooh. PAPI losing his disruptors. Was that all he had? No, he has 3 left. We have 3 disruptors left. Whew. As the game is going to be calming down a little bit here, and despite all the chaos, despite bases falling left and right, probes falling as well, we have 72 probes to 79, so again, a comparable economy. We have a comparable army size as well. 4 disruptors to 3. Comparable DT count, but who gets caught? PAPI's he paying attention? We shoot first. Novas go down. Oh, but a big connection! Oh my god! PAPI loses disruptors, but a big connection on the stalkers. At the same time, Zealot counterattack forces a warp in. This is still anyone's game. Ay, ay, ay. The balls, they're flying everywhere, PAPI. All over the place. And no one likes it. No, we like it. Oh, God. As the game is still very close here. Disruptor count's still quite close as well. Zealot Rumbai gets caught. At the same time, DT Harass coming in from the right-hand side, but we have 3 cannons. Yeah, we have plenty of cannons, plenty of detection. The Dark Templar should not get much damage done. It's going to come down to this big fight. PAPI has the high ground, being lured down. Never goes off. Is he looking? Not paying attention. Big connections there. Ay, ay, ay. Again, it's all about that reaction time. And PAPI was paying attention elsewhere. With that, Gerald takes a good fight, moving out once again. Oh, going for the gold is going to be denied. Quick move there out of PAPI. Very fast blink. Does confirm the goal base. Knows he cannot let this get up and running. Instead of going for a big Zealot Warp in, but the Zealot Rumbai gets caught. Good movement out of Gerald, but here comes the main army. We catch the Dark Templar, and we're going for the goal base. Gerald, do we recall? Where are we headed? As we're not going for the gold, we're going for the 5th. The Nova! Once again, a big connection. Yeah, Gerald, he did recall. The Zealots, they catch some of the stragglers. Oh, the DTs are popping off! No detection. DTs, they caught one of the disruptors. Again, the game getting very chaotic here. Gerald, he's fishing for a good shot. He's looking for it. Up! Does he get it? He does! Oh my god, massive connections. He gets almost every single disruptor. Not like this. 6 disruptors go down, 1 survives. We dive on the army. Brutal losses from PAPI, but he does have the Stalker lead. He had the Stalker lead. The flank is coming in. Nova goes off. PAPI taking so many of these Novas to the face. Ooh. But he does hold. He's still in this. Goal base is slowly going to get up and running. The Rumbai is still prepared here. As likewise, DTs also get across the map. From the side of Gerald. Good target firing, Gerald. He gets another disruptor. Dark Templar, they take down both of those cannons. No detection, by the way. Probes are going down. Forcing the recall. Do they get the... They almost get the disruptor as well. They almost get the disruptor. PAPI trying to reciprocate that damage, but Gerald, he's in position. Lying in wait. We dive on the army, and PAPI is getting picked apart. Very good target firing there out of Gerald. Gets the disruptors. He defends back at home. Yeah, we have the warp in. And you can see PAPI plummet in supply. Both players, they were neck and neck. And PAPI now in a lot of trouble. Losing on both fronts. He may get the goal base, but I don't think that matters too much. As he's down in workers, even in bases. Disruptors lying in wait. Oh, Blink is on cooldown. Oh. Gerald, we have to calm down a little bit. A little bit premature with those shots. We have 1 shot left. Grazing the army. Disruptors now on cooldown, but we have more disruptors on the way. Yeah, we take down the final disruptor of PAPI. We come in for the surround. There's no way out of this. As PAPI, he is cornered. GG gets caught, bleeds out all of his units, and Gerald will take the series 2-1. Oh, sorry, 2-0. GG. And Gerald will be our first finalist of the House Open Cup number 7. Congratulations. A very chaotic game. I mean, Gerald had quite a solid advantage here early on, but then things swung in favor of PAPI, back in favor of Gerald. It was a very dynamic and very chaotic PvP. It was crazy. It was a crazy game. in the end, congratulations to Gerald. Personally, I was hoping for an ace match. I was hoping we could get a little bit more out of our two players, but regardless, a solid series out of Gerald. GG, very well done. With that, Gerald, he's our first finalist of the night. And who will face off against him? Who will face off against Gerald? That is the question. You can see it here before you. We have our second semifinals. So I have to reset the score. We have our second semifinals ready for us. Switch our players over. It is going to be Cristiano versus Aristory. Let's go.